Hello again. How are we all doing? I've got my tea. I've got some biscuits. And that's all I've got because that is the current state of play in Farkle. Um, how are you all doing? Have you all got what you need? Um, what beverage did we all go for? Tides of Chaos says you've got silent disco. I hope you mean you've got an actual silent disco and not that you can't hear me. I'm assuming you all can hear me because you're telling me what you have. Coffee and Oreos, great. Boring water, nothing wrong with water, Simon and Foster. Vanilla red drink. Vanilla red drink, that's interesting. What is that? Someone's on the Monster Energy drink, be careful. Someone's on the Yorkshire tea, best kind, says Maggie LaFane. I'm actually on the... I don't know actually. I don't know what brand they are because they're in like a little urn thing where we empty them out. Oh, vanilla Coke. Oh, I shouldn't say brand name, should I? Probably fine. Freya's on the iced coffee. Pumpkin spice latte for Elenior, fancy. Keep the Yorkshire tea accent for the rest of the stream. It would offend anybody from Lancashire because I can do Northern, but I can't massively distinguish. Yorkshire's more like that, isn't it? And apologies to anyone from Yorkshire. And Lancashire, when I think of Lancashire, it's a bit more like Manc in my head. But again, huge apologies to everyone in the north of England. I'm a Brummie. What can I say? If you're from the Midlands, as I am, I'm not actually from Birmingham. I'm from near Birmingham, but it's the nearest town. My dad had a very strong Birmingham accent. But if you're from Birmingham, everyone up north thinks you're a Southerner, and everyone down south thinks you're a Northerner. So you're just a Midlander. So there you go. Lozzie Lou said I sound like her Wuthering Heights audiobook. Who does Heath? I'm assuming you're talking about Heathcliff, who I think is a Northerner. Yeah, Henkpe says when you hear Jon Snow, it's all Northern. They are Northern. Those guys in Game of Thrones, whatever that family's called, forgive me, I've never seen it. Have Northern accents, don't they? Death Professor says nom nom nom. Well, on that note, Death Professor, I'm going to join you. Thank you very much, Agent Hawkbird. Oh, you're having an Earl Grey. An Earl Grey for Ancient Hawkbird. Fancy. I mean, you think I might have eaten these biscuits during my break, but I didn't. I thought I'd let you enjoy the sight of me having a mukbang. Or a mukbang, as I like to call it. Okay. How's everyone doing? Nice break? Yeah, it's mukbang time. All right. I actually wasn't spying. Indigestion says, too busy spying to eat biscuits. No, I ran to the loo, I made a cup of tea. Had a 30-second lie down, literally. Thanks, Kim Fury. And then I came back. To dunk or not to dunk, that is the question. Well, I'm on the shortbread. So I actually haven't been. Thank you, Crazy Rat Lady. Very kind. But I have just done a little dunk. See how that works out. Yeah, 30 seconds. I literally lay down for about 30 seconds. And then I was like, I want to get back. So, Lady Capon is asking, is my brain ready to compute again? We'll find out. What I will do, I'm going to warm us up with a couple of questions from chat. I won't go back to the old ones. And then we'll jump back into the Farkle. So what have you got for me, chat? Anything you like. Anything about the game, anything about the DLC, anything about anything else. Let's see what you got. Just checking something here. Thanks, Olive. Thanks, Joshi Domi. Writing journey process inspiration, says Humble Pie. So in terms of this sort of, I flatter myself to think I could give any useful advice, but this sort of applies to all creative pursuits, and I know that a lot of you are creative, particularly as incredible artists in our community. And And my advice, which was this is just secondhand, I'm just passing this on from a much more distinguished and successful writer than me, but they basically just said, just do it. Don't procrastinate. And I know this is not new advice, but it's hard to live by, but important to do. And it's like, just write. If you're a writer, just write something. Start making something. Don't worry about it being perfect. Don't worry about planning it to within an inch of its life. Just get on and do it and make something. And then it's like, the sort of analogy they used was like, it's like putting clay on a wheel. So the clay, you don't have to put down the clay as like a perfect vase that has already been like shaped and painted and fired. You just put some clay down and then you make it into something. And that's a bit like a first draft or a first drawing or a first piece of music or whatever. It's like, just get a thing, get the materials, whether that's like a first draft of a script or whatever it might be. And then you can start making it into something. And I think that's really good advice. And it's the advice that I try and take a bit more often because I tend not to. But it is important. So that's my advice. Do I enjoy writing full fantasy or grounded stuff, says Zinwa? Mostly reality. I'm sort of, I don't know why, my brain doesn't tend to work in that sort of fantastical way that a lot of people's do. And in some ways I wish it did, but I'm always drawn to sort of gritty reality, and it's kind of what I prefer to watch, if I'm completely honest, and it's what I prefer to be in mostly as an actor. Except that often when you're doing one thing, you then have an appetite to do something different. So if it's the job I just finished was like really traumatic, really like amazing, very rewarding, like really, really one of the single most rewarding jobs I've ever done, but it was like really like difficult and sad and challenging. So I would quite like to do something a bit lighter. And so in that vein, probably just keep mixing it up, I would say. What else? Oh My Mutt says, what's my favourite accent and least favourite accent to do? My favourite accent is... Well, it's interesting because I don't really have an accent. So if there's anyone from the Midlands in the house, they will probably hear a bit of Midlands in my accent. And that's partly because of my dad, because he had a very strong Birmingham accent. So people from the Midlands can hear it a bit, but mostly people just think I have a sort of generic... They can't really tell where in the UK I'm from. I've lived in London for 25 years, so that kind of messes it up. But I do like doing Birmingham, and it's the first time I've just done it, and it's the first time I've done it, and it obviously has very strong connections to my dad, and so that's probably my favourite. My least favourite, I don't really have a least favourite. There's not one that I don't like doing, but like certain regional Irish dialects can be really difficult. So I can do like a general Irish accent. I can do like general Northern Irish and general Irish, but that's very like broad church. And you go, when you start to get specific, like I recently had to do a South Dublin accent. So it wasn't just a Dublin accent, it was South Dublin, which I learned was sort of a bit kind of more polished somehow, and a bit sort of almost not quite anglicised, but just had a slightly different sound, and that was a hard thing to do. Someone else asked, forgive me, I don't know who it was, they asked if I had any jobs before acting. I had loads of jobs before acting. When I was young, I was obsessed with getting a job, like the idea of like, I can go and get a job, this is cool. So I literally, I think I was like 8 years old, I'm not even joking, and I said to my dad, I was like, I want a job, and he was like, well, that's probably not going to happen because that's child labour. He didn't quite put it like that, but he didn't want to discourage me. He was like, well, if you've got that appetite, then... So we went around this village where I lived, and basically he came with me, obviously, and we were like, is there any job that you could do? And obviously most of them were like, absolutely not, because that's illegal. But there was a local pub, and they were like, do you know what, we'll give him like this is how long ago it was, this is not a reflection on how cheap they were. They gave me £1 an hour, and I used to do half an hour in the morning and half an hour in the afternoon, and it was like cleaning up the litter in the like outside area they had, so like crisp packets and whatnot. I'm not sure how much value I actually added, but I think they just quite liked the fact that I wanted to do it. And I remember being like, I've got £1 today. And I was thrilled, and I thought it was amazing. And then after that, I had loads of jobs. I worked in a butcher's, I worked in a grocery store, I worked in a toy shop. This is all before I was like 16, by the way. I know I'm making it sound like I grew up in a Dickens novel, but this was all by my own choice. I wanted to do this. I worked in what else did I do at that age? That might be all the ones for. I'm thinking about the village where all the shops I went around working in. Oh, in a pub. I was a pot washer in a pub for ages. 2 pubs actually. So I was like, yeah, I was. Do you all know what a pot wash is? Kind of does what it says on the tin. I washed all the dirty plates. So those were my first jobs, and then. When I say butcher, I wasn't the butcher. I was like the butcher's boy. So I was like, I did all the crap jobs. So things like pork scratchings. You know what they are? They come in like a big long line. So they're like crisps that people eat. They're like things that you have in the pub, but you have to break them up. And I just did the crap jobs like that. That wasn't very pleasant, to be honest. And then when I was older, I used to work at Stamford Bridge. Does anyone know what Stamford Bridge is? Let's give chat a minute to test their footballing knowledge. There's a little clue. No, not the Battle. It's a Chelsea stadium. Mabba says so. It's where Chelsea play football. And I worked in a bar there when I was a student. And I worked in loads of places. I used to do like it's called promotion work in the UK. So it's basically like you stand outside a tube station and like give out free stuff, like promotional stuff. So like, oh, this, like, and my low point of all that was a washing powder in the UK were doing a promotion for pantomimes. So which for those that aren't in the UK, it's like Christmas theatre, basically like family theatre, and there are like quite iconic characters in and around pantomimes. As they were giving away free tickets with the washing powder. So they wanted people, including this guy, to stand in a supermarket and give out samples of the washing powder dressed as a character from a pantomime. So it was like it wasn't Aladdin, but it was like Aladdin theme. So I sort of had these like curly toed shoes and this like weird little costume. And I stood in a supermarket getting mocked by people younger than myself, because I needed the money. But do you know what? I do not care. I am proud that I did those jobs, and like I encourage all of you, like, never ever be ashamed or not proud. If you're working and you're working hard, and even if it's not something that you're loving, just be proud of yourself. Yeah, a job is a job, says someone. Where's it gone? Says Hank Pay, and I totally agree with that. Like that was something that was instilled into me from quite a young age. Thank you, Dreamy Free. And it's fine. It's absolutely fine. That's my response to what jobs did I have. I had loads, and I enjoyed most of them, not all of them. Baby girl Hans, their first job was in a haunted house. That's pretty freaky. Crazy Rat Lady says, what do I do on flights to spend time? I write, usually, depending on the length of the flight. I'm not a big one for watching films on planes. I never find that it's very fun. Dan the Irishman says, do your Northern Irish. Well, how's about that then, Dan? Is that any good? Not really. You can be the judge of that. Hopefully there's not too many Northern Irish people here to witness that shameful event. What my name is says, are you getting a book from me anytime soon? Sadly, no, because I don't write fiction or prose. I write screenplays. So, yeah, and the Outlaw Bard says, what do I write? Well, I'm answering now. And you ask, is there anything published you could read? No, because you don't publish screenplays. So it's not... someone else is saying do a Geordie accent. I'm drawing the line there. I cannot do a Geordie accent, and I'm not going to try. There are some Geordie accents in the game. Do any of you know which of the characters have Geordie accents? Which sort of group of people? A Scouse accent. I have done a Scouse. Yeah, it is the miners who have that accent. Well done. Thanks, Janji. Okay, let's do one or two more, and then let's jump back into the Farkle. Katharina von Bingen is saying, can you have a Scottish accent? I did a show called Black Cake about 2 years ago. I do Scottish in that, so you can have a look at that. Someone else asked for Scouse. I did that in a show called The Suspect, so you can go and look at that. Shinny says, am I a dog or a cat person? I'm a dog person. I like cats. We have both as kids, but I'm a dog person. Any other questions? Or should I, I'm not going to do loads of accents now. It's like accent jukebox. Bard Tame says, can I do American? Yeah, I've done American a few times. Again, like Hatfields and McCoys, Harrow, did it in those. What's the most difficult role I've played, said Sharks Prem? Well, there's lots of answers to that. But Henry is one of them from a technical perspective. So not from a performance perspective, he's a really lovable, it's kind of, but in the second game, obviously you can make him into so many iterations of who you choose for him to be, and that is such a unique challenge. So that's one of the hardest in terms of like the scope of types of Henry that he can become, and me having to play all of them. That's one of the hardest, and the amount of time involved. In terms of like, I don't know, they're all different. The role I've just done, in terms of like emotional range, the job I've just done, which I will be able to talk about at some point, is one of the hardest because it was much more emotional than a lot of things I've done. But so each job has a different challenge, but Henry is definitely up there with being one of the hardest, if not the hardest. Favourite scary movie? I'm not a massive movie aficionado, Catch Up Zombie, but I do like Scream. Scream's a great film. Okay. What is last question? What is early doors? Says Percolator. Early doors means early. So if you're like, I'm leaving early doors, it means you're going early. Or if you get up early doors. So that's that. Right then, everyone. Let's decide what we're playing for next. It's not going to be the sword or Danzig yet. We're going to get to that. What would you like to play for? I'm putting this to the vote. The Forge. You want to play for the Forge? Great. Let's play for the Forge. I think the Forge is like a sort of 4,000... 5,000. You want to do 5,000? That's what Xena wants. That's what Xena gets. Okay. We'll do the Forge for 5,000. I think we go back to our colours. It was mind bending for me to not play as blue. So I'm going to let you be green, and I'm going to let you start. So get your energy going, get your hype up, get your focus on, get your good vibes coming towards these. It's not 5,000 groschen type pixel. We're playing up to 5,000, but we're playing for the Forge. You probably understood that, but just in case. Okay, you ready? Off you go. Good luck. Wow, good luck, studio. How do you feel about that? Thank you, Holdfast. Nice to see you. I didn't know you were here. That's excellent. You're all smashing me at Farkle. Someone needs to fill in. Holdfast is you probably all know this. My sort of main mod man, so to speak, and I don't know if he knows that you've all smashed me at Farkle, but someone can fill him in. He's probably in the mod chat right now anyway. Okay. What do you want to do? I can already one and roll. Okay. Here you go. Ooh, okay. Starting to warm up again. What do you want to do with those guys? Yeah, it's got to be. 6s and pass. Well done. So that's 700 to get chat off the mark. And now it's my turn. Okay, here we go again. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll take it. That's 750, no? I feel like things are about to get a bit more interesting and a bit more balanced. Because you've got 700, I've got 750. It's all to play for. It's all about the Forge, not the legacy of the Forge, the actual Forge. I feel like my luck is returning. I feel like we're one and roll. I feel like things are about to get interesting and warm up a bit. No more crazy rolls. And it's all going to be a bit more even from now on, I hope. What do you reckon? Thanks, Joshi Domi. One and wrong. Okay. Here we go. Now what? Oh, there was a couple of 5. Keep going with what you want to do. Okay. Keep going. Yeah, okay, so it's just about fives and past, but a lot of you wanted to roll, but the fives and past have it. So that's 300. So you're now on 1,000, chat. And it's back to me. Here we go. Ah, that's annoying. I am in fact bust, am I not? So much for the comeback. All right, over to you. That's the last time I'm going bust today. He hopes. One and wrong. Just one of those ones. Yeah. Okay. Oh dear, chat. Now who's bust, bust, bust? You are. Okay. Someone's saying you had three threes. I don't think you did you? Oh, you had a 3 pair, but you only kept one of them. You chose. The majority of people said one and roll. So, and it doesn't matter because you won't bust anyway. Okay. Am I? I think I do want to be fair and get this right. Lux Lucius is saying, "Is this Tom McKay?" Absolutely, is Tom McKay. You must be new here, I assume. It's nice to have you here. Thanks for coming. This is Tom McKay. But Serena's saying it's Henry Escalade. It's both. It's whoever you want me to be between those two options. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get 500 for that, no? Help me out, chat. I always forget. Emma says, no, it's the guy who goes bust. Sadly, you're right. Jesse says it's the Farkle god. I'll take that. 500, right? I think that's right. I get confused. Okay, so you are on 1,500. I am on 1,250. So it's all to play for, chat. All right, gang. Do with these what you will. Put your love this way. What's it going to be? One and roll. It's got to be. Keep telling me what you want to do because I'm trying to get a consensus here. Keep going, keep going. Okay. One and roll has it. I know a lot of you wanted to pass, but more of you wanted to roll. Probably a good shout, I would say. So what do you want to do with those? Fives and pass, it's got to be. So that's 300 for you. So you're now on... hang on. Sorry, I'm getting a bit confused for a change. Am I right in saying you got 300, so you're now on 2,000, chat? Is anyone keeping tabs on this? I just want to make sure I'm adding this up right. But I think I am. I have you all on because I've done my system slightly differently. Let's just say you are on 2,000, which I think you are. No, you were on 1,700. You had 1,700. So I think I'm just going to call it 2000. It's only because basically I had a system going where I was like adding. So I was going like, oh, you got 400, you got in that case like 500. So now you're on this number. But then I started doing it differently after the break, which is really unhelpful. So from now on, so I've now added these, and you are now on 2000. I could be doing anything. All right, you're on 2000. And I'm not. Wait a minute. These are my dice. Okay, 400. I'm just going to take that 400 and walk, which puts me on 1650. Okay, fine. No, you said 3 fours, but I don't think there were 3 fours. Anyway, that was my roll. So this is your roll now. If there were 3 fours, I missed them, so that's on me. Ooh, chat. Sorry about that. That's a big fat 0, I'm afraid. Okay, over to me. This forge is making us work for it. Let's hope it's worth it. I got 4 3s, which I think I'm right in saying is 600. Is that right? Is it 600? 600. Okay, so I'm now on 250. So I've just overtaken you, but it's your turn. You're on 2000. Here you go, gang. This is for you. Looks like your luck is well and truly back, chat, because that, if I'm not mistaken, I'll wait for you to spot it. It's 1,500 points worth of straight. Well done. Question is, do you want to roll again? So you got straight, roll or pass. Hit me with your roll or pass. I love you, chat. I love you for this. You all want to roll? I mean, not all of you want to roll, but enough of you want to roll. So you got your 1,500. You're fine. You're safe. But what do you want to do now? You got 1,500 and you've got what's there. Now, for the forge. For the forge! I love that some of you are saying one and roll. Quite a few of you, but more of you are saying pass. More of you are saying be careful. So you got 1,500, 1,600, 1,700. Yeah, enough of you are saying that. So 1,700, which puts you on 3,700. So you are now 1,300 away from your target. I am more than 2,500 away from my target, but it's my turn. 4 twos, it's only 400. I mean, it's not great for how good it is, but so 450, I'm just going to take that and call that 2,700. Okay, I'm on 2,700. Let's do a very quick recap of how it's going for the forge. You've got 3,700. I've got 2,700, and it's chat's turn. So here we go. Speak now or forever hold your peace, chat. What would you like to do? Someone's saying, oh yeah, you have got 3 3. Sorry, I didn't see that. 400. 400. So you're now on 4,100. You've only got 900 to go. Well done. Sorry, I'm just talking something out here. Okay, my turn. The goal is 5,000, Kuru. So you're 900 away. I'm going to take the 1. Yeah, I'm going to take the 1. Reza says this game is making me lose their brain cells. I know that feeling. It is a bit of a brain jumble, brain scramble, this one. Okay, I'll take the 5 and I keep going. Ooh, that'll do. So I've got 500, 650. So I'm now on 3,350. I mean, I've still got a way to go. But here you go, chat. You need 900. Kurva, says Marie Ode. Kurva is right. Emma says it's hurting her brain. We'll take a little break after this, don't worry. What do you want to do with that, chat? Five and roll. Well done. That's exactly what I would do. Same again. I love it. No, who is it? Books and Knives is saying, five and roll, please. I love it when people say please. It's so sweet. You don't have to because I know it's more typing, but I like to shout it. I like to shout out the manners. Thank you, Tides of Chaos. Five and roll, please. Five and roll, please. I'm not insisting that you all do that. It's a faff, but it's a nice faff. There. See, I did the thing that I did for you, and I'm letting you keep it because it's fair that you keep it. So ones and pass. So you got 300. So you're now on 400. Yeah. So you need 600. That's annoying. It's pretty close. All right, I'll take the one. I take the one again. Whoops. Ooh, okay. So I've got my 300 there, my 400 there, 700, and I'm going to keep going. So I'm just going to write my 700 here. So I know what I've got there and there. I'll take those fours and the five. So that is 7, 1150. 1150, which puts me on 600. So, chat, I have just overtaken you. We are, just to bring you up to speed on what's going on here, you are on 400. You've had a bit of a slowdown here, chat. You might have to throw some energy behind this. I'm on 600. This is a bit like Snail and the Tortoise. Do we all know that story? Where you've all slowed down a bit. Yeah, chat lock in is right. Come on. Here you go, gang. This is for the forge. For the forge! You need 600. Lock in. Ooh, what are you going to do then? Because you've got 400, but I am only 400 away. So now this is getting interesting. May the forge be with you, Cafe Kiwi. This is going to split you. This is splitting you hard. This is really splitting you. Okay, I'm just going to need you to keep going. So I think the fours and fives and passes out. Not enough of you are saying that. The fours and rolls or the fives and rolls. It's between you. The fours and rolls have it. So fours and rolls. So you've got your 400 there. I think that's probably a smart move, but we'll find out. You now need 200 out of these dice. Ah, chat, I'm sorry. I still think it was the right thing to do because you've got to go for it because I'm close. But that's, it's weird. I keep finding myself being on your side and rooting for you. And then I'm like, hang on a minute, you're the enemy. You're the enemy. What am I doing? It's because I know you're all KCD fans, so you're hard to get angry at. Oh, chat. I've done it. 500. So that's 5,100. And the forge is mine! The legacy of the forge. I finally have something. This is the way it looked before. And now I finally have something in my pocket, which is a forge. Absolutely thrilled about that. You lost the forge, Fletcher, you say. I'm afraid you did. But you still have the Gutenberg Fountain, the astronomical clock. I'm really enjoying the game show vibes of this. Don't be sad that you're going home. Imagine if Henry was like the presenter of his own game show. He'd be saying, it's been wonderful to see you all. I'm afraid it didn't work out for you today, but thank you so much for joining us on the show. And you do walk home with an astronomical clock, the Gutenberg Fountain, and 21 groschen in your pocket. I hope you've had a lovely day, everyone. That's what Henry would say were he a game show host, which honestly, I think he'd be quite a good game show host, don't you? Right then, my friends. Thank you, Lina Beans. We are now, I would say, roughly 20 minutes to half an hour away from the black and white checkered flag. San says 21 groschen is the most important thing. 21 groschen is the most important thing. Here's what we are going to do. We are going to do we're going to do a mini question situation. And then we're going to play for no less than Dadzig, followed by the sword. And then we are going to review... Alexis has made a new emote, which is bust. I love that. Thanks, Alexis. Well done. We're a little bit more question time. Then we're gonna do the final finale of Chaotic Farkle, and then we're gonna review and see where we're at. I am just gonna run. I've just drunk that tea way too quickly. This is more information than you need. I'm gonna run to the toilet. While I'm in the toilet, I want you all to decide amongst yourselves which coloured dice you would like to play with, and line up a couple more questions. Go. I'm not gonna do a break. I'm just gonna go and come back. I'll be quick. Okay. So what did you all decide? Thank you, Glittery Cocaine, a name that always makes me laugh. I probably shouldn't laugh, but I am. Thanks, Olive. Okay, so you want green. I think green is the way. I would have been... Can you imagine how confused this little brain would have got if you had not said green? So you want green. I'm going to pick... While you sort out a couple more questions, I'm going to pick a couple more of the old ones, just for old time's sake. 1 second, please, while I do that. These are great. They're all great questions. Alejo, Cloaca Andante is this person's screen name, says, what do I think the future of Henry will look like? I'm not talking about KCD2 or if that happens, just in general, do you think he will settle down somewhere once he's older, or do you think he will die in a big battle? I would like to hear your thoughts. Well, it's such a difficult one to answer because obviously you all get to choose that. The whole point of the game is that it doesn't really matter what I think. I'm just getting chat back up so I can speak to you all. It doesn't really matter. I think if I was choosing, I'd probably, ultimately, later in life, way later in life, I would see him settling down. I'm talking in his 60s or 70s. But I feel like in the short term, at the age he is at the end of the second game, he's got so much more adventure in him and much more... I don't think he's someone, even if he thought he wanted to, who could go and retire back in Skalitz and just have a very ordinary life for the rest of his life. That is an option, it's what you could do. But I would be more inclined to get him to Prague, get him into some battles, get him in the Hussite Wars later on. I feel like he's the sort of person who has the bit between his teeth for adventure, and I just don't see him resisting that. But that it doesn't matter. What do you all think? What would you all have him do? Langzuma says, "Am I addressing my original Q&A Twitter?" That's what I'm doing, but it's unfortunately there's so many. I know you asked some questions, Langzuma. What would you all do? But yes is the answer. I am. Adventure seems to be the consensus. Olive would give him a spa day. Great choice. Yeah, he's got to have the adventure, hasn't he? Yeah, so I am Langzuma now going to jump back into those. Let me see. This is interesting. So EJ Kai says, I'm interested in how playing the game on stream might have given you a new perspective. Have you learnt anything through playing that you think will be useful if you do any voice or performance capture for other games? It has and it hasn't changed my perspective. It's changed my perspective. I feel like I have a much better understanding of all of you and what you enjoy about the game, because I always had a great understanding of and knowledge of the character and the characters and the narrative and the world. But what I didn't know was like I had never seen the inventory, things like that. You just go, that's a huge part of the gameplay. There's no reason for you to be exposed to it as an actor. So I definitely had a much more working understanding of what it is that you all love about it, and the sort of fires that it lights in you, not just because of the story, but because of the mechanics and the choice and all those things, and what that actually means in real terms. In terms of what it would change performance-wise, I don't think it would change a ton. Like the playing of it. because I think all acting jobs, whatever they are, whatever genre, whatever medium, they sort of rely on a level of like truth and just trying to make something truthful, and that is always the case. So the actual playing of it hasn't changed it. Although, having said that, I would say, so I played quite a bit before I went back to do some DLCs, and I don't know that it changed anything per se, but it did give me a deeper understanding of what I was doing and how it would feel to be on the other side. But I don't think it actually changed what I was doing performance-wise, because the intention was then still the same, which was just to make it honest and interesting and funny and engaging. And I was always trying to do those things. Let's have another. I'm slightly picking them at random now because they're all jumbled up. Forgive me as well. I can't remember. I think I might have done some of these already. Stop me if I've done this one already. But Mera asks, from my perspective as an actor who has played or embodied the protagonist of a major game, how would I compare the relationship between gaming fandoms and their protagonists, that between TV and film? I'm just going to jump on chat so that you can tell me if I answer this. So I feel like I might have answered this before, but I think it's a really good question, which is why I want to address it. Let's make sure chat is catching up. Sorry, it's really different. Oh, some people say I haven't, some I haven't. Well, I'm going to give you a version. I'm going to basically, the gaming fandoms are much more engaged. I have talked about this before, which is it's much more interactive and engaged. I know I have said this before, maybe to a different question, but it's very different. TV is much more removed and much more remote, and this is lovely. And I mean, what we're literally doing right now is just lovely and amazing. So it's very, very different, I will say, and very new to me. Like, that's part of this journey of this whole thing has just been that education. Sorry, there's so many good questions here. I was laughing because someone says, how many times a day do I hear Henry's come to see us? Loads when I'm in Prague, less so when I'm not in Prague. Okay, last question here, and then I'm going to jump into some back in chat. Irrelevant Pauper says, hi Tom, what was your process of preparing yourself for the role of Henry? Did you find yourself needing to do some required reading or research into that specific part of medieval history or voice acting? No, the main majority of education, well, yes, is one of the answers, but the main area of focus was actually to do with performance capture and how I learned technically how to do that, which isn't as complicated as you think because we're playing real people, so they kind of move and talk in the way that normal people do. So it's not like you're suddenly behaving or moving in a way that is different. But even that, what I've just said, was kind of an education, because I think a lot of people assume that you sort of do need to be like behaving in a different way and talking and moving and being like, you don't. In our game, you just have to be a normal person doing real world things. So that was an education. In terms of, we did some combat training a little bit. I mean, the stunt guys do most of the complicated combat work, but we do, when we're doing it, we have some preparation for that. Things like the Hungarian that I was talking about earlier, the language stuff, help and input with the language and the Latin. We would do preparation. The historical context was given to us more by Dan and Prokop, the lead creatives, who gave us a sense of that period of Czech history. There's an amazing historical advisor that we had some interaction with. But we kind of had, from everything they gave us, the bare bones of what we needed to like tell the story of this world. So there was a certain amount of like reading around, but that was because I wanted to, not because I had to. Yeah, that was it. Alison, I think, is talking about the mocap suits and the head cams and how they can. She said that Luke was saying it made the kissing scenes awkward. It does. The intimacy and the combat are made harder by the fact you've got these big head structures which have the camera on them, which we didn't have in the first game. And if you're trying to like kiss someone or whatever, they absolutely get in the way. And I think we then did most of the romantic scenes with them and then without them, so that they had both versions physically. But combat is the same. It's like they're just cumbersome, but they're also there for a reason. They're important. So, okay. Let's do a couple more, and then we're going to go back to some Farkle. Death Professor asked a great question, which I don't know if I'm able to answer. What mythological creature would I associate with Henry? I don't know enough mythological creatures to know. My mythology is not... I'm not erudite enough a man to answer that precisely, but I could ask you, Death Professor. I would say, is there Is there what mythological creature would be a sort of everyman, a sort of noble man of the people? Does such a thing exist? Um, I don't know if it does, but my mythological knowledge is wanting. I'm afraid. Griffin. A lot of people are saying Griffin. Does he have Griffin vibes? That feels right to me. What little I know about Griffins. Um, Feedvit is saying, in a potential KCD3, this will be the last one, would I like to pick up where KCD2 left, or would I like there to be a time skip, maybe towards the Hussite Wars or Radzik Hanish death? I will answer that, Dan the Irishman, in a minute as well, because that's a good question. It's such a hard one. The short answer is it's not for me to decide. Warhorse will decide that and decide it brilliantly. But there's so many things that could happen in terms of like... if the narrative continues and if it did, where and how and with who. There's so many versions. But I for my personal preference, I probably would lean into a bit of a time skip. I think that feels like the most interesting thing. And but you know, I say that I don't write video games, and I could not write this video game as well as the writers. What do you all think? Like, what would you all lean into in terms of what your preferred would be if you know, to see a sort of Henry immediately afterwards or later on, or, jump to the Hussite Wars, says Ketchup Zombie. Time skip. Oh, Bernard in the Hat says continue on that time. Okay. Freeing King Wenceslas, says Fletcher. I think was to know somebody else. Sorry. A lot of you seem focused on rescuing the king as well. Pretty split. So a lot of you want a time skip, and a lot of you don't. So we leave that in the hands of the experts. Maybe you could do a bit of both. I don't know. Would that even work in a game where you could have a time skip within a game? I don't know if that's ever been done. So the last thing, I think it was, I forget your name, the Northern Irish. I think your name was Northern Irish something. But you were asking about tips for Prague, and I will close on this. Prague is so beautiful. What would I do? I think you said you were going at Christmas. The great thing about Prague is you know how some cities you go to and you're like, Rome, for example, you're like, you've got to go to the Vatican and you've got to go to the Colosseum, and it's such a big, slightly overwhelming and daunting list of like things to do. The great thing about Prague is it absolutely has gorgeous sights. But the kind of main attraction is the town itself. So you're released from that pressure of like ticking things off, and you can just walk about and have a really nice time. And I would recommend that. There's like a loop that you can do round Petrine Hill to the castle and down again and across the Charles Bridge and into the town square. And it's sort of, if you walked that at a moderate pace, it might take you a couple of hours. And it's really, really lovely. And I do that loads when I go back, and over weekends or whatever. I've done that so many times because it's just really pleasant. So that would be my tip. All right, gang. That's enough of that. We are now going to close with some Farkle. Thanks, Killigan. So, why don't we start by playing... Oh, I'm running out of space on my thing. Hang on. Let's start by playing for Danzig. Because, well, you can answer this. What is more valuable to you? Oh, it's Dan the Irishman. Sorry, Dan. What is more valuable to you, Danzig or the sword? What is more important in your opinion? You think Danzig's more important? Okay, so we'll leave Danzig till the end. I mean, some of you think the swords, but... So we're going to start with the sword then. And for... Amir, let's make the target 4,000, and then we'll up it for Danzig. I'm going to let you go first. The target is, I've done some scribbling, forgive me. We're doing it for the sword, and the target is 4,000. You are green, you're going first. Put the love towards the dice, so to speak. And you're off. Sorry for kissing it, but you saw what you saw. What would you like, gang? One and roll. Okay. One roll. Chat. You got what you asked for, which is you've gone bust, I'm afraid. Sorry about that, gang. All right. Sakra, says someone. Sakra is right. Oh, that's annoying. If one of those threes was a 2, life would be sweeter. Let's go for the 1. You're getting a lot of use out of Alexis's new emote. Oh, thank you, Irene. That's super kind, as always. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, what's it going to be, gang? The emote is going down a storm. Oh, wait a minute. my brain is so fried. I was enjoying that so much I forgot it was my turn. All right. Okay. Okay. I'm really enjoying me staring at you, waiting for you to decide, and then realising it was my go. Do you know what? I'm going in big. I'm just going to keep going. Oh, no, I took the wrong one. I'm taking the 5, and I'm keeping going. You think the fact that you were all shouting bust would have made me realise it was my go, but no, it didn't. It just I just enjoyed it so much. Okay, so I'm on 300. You are on a big fat 0, I'm afraid. What you need, my friends, is another one of your crazy 6s. Polar Pandy's brain is not working too. I'm not alone. Thank you for that. It's do you want 1 5 or 2? Just 1. Yeah, Farkle fries your brain. Ooh, there you go. What are you going to do? I'm assuming you're going to keep those, right? Yeah, 5s and pass. That makes sense. Okay, blues are back. Blues are back. It's annoying. I'm so close to these straights, but not close enough. All right, I'm going to take 1 1. I'm going to keep going. I'm absolutely enthralled by the bust. Okay, I'll take the 5s with the 1, and I'll keep going. Might as well. It's a very. In fact, I'm going to take 1 5 and keep going. And now I'm going to take another 5 and keep going, because this is just not going to change anyone's life. I mean, it's really loving just drip feeding me these 5s. Okay, I'll call that a day, and I am now on 550. Oh, we're actually level pegging. You're also on 550. What would you like there? One and roll. It's got to be. What do you want to do? 1 and roll? No, you don't have 1 and roll, so I'm looking from the last one. 5 and roll, yeah. Another dice down. The dice are all over the shop today. Do you like the one blaming the dice rather than the person that's throwing them? What'll that be? 1 and roll. Sure? 1 and roll? Okay. Okay. Yeah, 5s and pass. So that puts you on 350. So now you're on 900. Okay, we need something a bit more. We need something a bit bolder here. That was not a cheat. That's just how they fell. I'm not taking any abuse for that. I'm gonna 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I will take that all day long. That is 750. I think I'm right in saying. Is that right? 750 or 500. I have such a mental block with this. 750. So 8. 1300. Okay. So we're on our way to 4,000. I've got I've got 1300, you've got 900. There you go. This is more like it. This is more like it. Okay. A demon. Alexis says it's getting warmer because of my curse. Fours and pass. So you've got 800, 850, right? 850. There you go. Now you're cooking. So you're on 1750. I'm on 1300. We're moving, gang. We're moving. There's some fire in the engine. I'll take one of those fives and keep going. Oh, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a demon in the house. So that's 750 plus minus, so that's 800. I'm going to write my little 800, but I'm going to keep going. A demon! Here we go. Wait, that was right. That was right. Okay, so it is warming up in here. You're right, Alexis. So I've got 700 there. 700 there. Thank you, Joshi Domi, to go with my 800. So that's 1500 to go with my 1500. Hang on, 1500 to go with that. 2800 I make it. Is that right? 2800? I think that's right, yeah. Okay, you're on 1750. I mean, you're not miles behind. You're not miles behind. Sorry, child. Okay. What do you want to do? If I'm a sorcerer, I'm also a sorcerer for you guys. 1050 puts you on 1800, 2800. So let me tell you something, my friends. It is level pegging for the swords. Level pegging for the swords. So, is that right? You're all saying 1115. No, it's not 1115. It's 1050. No. Oh, I see. Sorry. I see what you're doing. You're choosing your dice. Okay, level pegging. Here we go. We all need 1200 to get that sword. That's annoying. I'm so close, but not close enough. Take that guy. Ooh, 800 and 900. Okay, I'll take that all day long. So that's 700. So I am now only, just to give you some context, I only need 300. So that will hopefully enlighten you in terms of what you do now. What would you like to do? One and roll. I think that's smart, given what I was just saying. In terms of, like, you just got to go for it now, right? You need 1200. So you fuckers. Here's the thing, though, chat. Let me tell you. So this is now very interesting because you've got your 1000, you've got 1100, but you need 100 more than that, and I'm only 300 away. So you can, if you want, go with these two and hope to get your 100 out of them. What would you like to do? Okay, so just put pass or roll. Just put pass or roll. Pass has it. That is not what I would do, but at this stage of the game. But pass has it. So you've got your, just to be clear, you've got your 1100. So you've got your 3900, and I need 300. Okay, I mean, let's see if that was the right good. Thank you very much, Fadburger. Nice to see you. Okay, that's fine. That's 500, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 500. No, I think I'm right in saying. So, my friends, the sword is mine. I got my father's sword. I am going to take great pleasure. Where's it gone? So I didn't get much today. I didn't get much, but I did get the forge and the sword. Now, we are going to play for Danzig, but I'm just wondering who would like to do go all in. We could go all in and have one. Given that we're like the chaos moment of the stream, so this can become the chaos. The chaos for this week is, how about we go all in and we throw Danzig in the mix, but we literally do a not even double or quits. We do a winner takes all, up to 5,000. So yes, you get Danzig, but you also get Mutt, Pebbles, Hands, the sword, the forge, the Kuttenberg fountain, the astronomical clock, and 21 groschen, and all the money from last week. That was like over 1 million groschen. Do we want to do that? Do you want to go all in and go big? Thank you, Shani. Thank you, Fletcher. You absolutely do. You absolutely do. This needs its own bit of paper. This needs its own bit of paper because we are into chaos time. I'm going to let you go first. But this is what it looks like, my friends. This is what it looks like. For everything, and we all know what that includes, for 5,000, starting with chat and playing against Henry. Okay. You're going first. The stakes are high. Thank you, Little Farmer Gosling. Thank you, Kim Puri. I'm just going to pop that to one side, just to remind you, this is for everything. And after all this time, I still haven't quite worked out which way I need to move my finger in the mirrored image that is the screen. Thank you, Dusty Fedora. Okay, chat. It's time to focus your communal energies and to put all the love and the good vibes. I will not be kissing the dice. I do not cheat, as we have established. I am a demon, but I can't do anything about that. This is where you need to send your good vibes from all over the world. Let's see some hype in chat. Thank you, Teich. Thank you, Strike Century. Oh, sorry. I'm going to hold them there. And on the count, I'm going to count down from 10, and then we're going to go for it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I know I should let you see first, but it just feels. Oh God, I'm now I've got low-level panic that I've opened up this can of worms. Thank you, Glambrin Gaming. Thank you, Olive. What am I doing? Why am I allowing this to happen? Why did I suggest this even happen? What would you like to do? Run and roll. I'm thrilled that at this stage of the game some of you are still saying please. Such incredible manners. Okay. Oh, chat. Okay. Threes and pass. Okay. All right. So you got 400. Chat, you are off. Thank you very much, Richie Crispy. Indeed. Much appreciated. Chat, you are off the marks. You need 5,000. You've got 400. I have a big fat 0. I have the feeling I know what emote is going to be coming now that I warm up my blue dice. But I'm going to take it all from you and be a winner today. 1, 2, no. 2, 3, 4, no. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Thank you very much indeed, Polar Pandy. Super kind as always. Thank you so much. Also, Peasant from Peasant's Down. That was very much appreciated. Are you doing this because I've just rolled a terrible hand? Almost certainly. I'm going to go with the 5 and keep going. I see your bus rolling in hard and fast. Okay. I take my 1 and I continue. that bust emoji is getting some serious use. Ah! Damn it! It's working! If I'm a demon, the person that made that is a demon, which I think was... Wait, wasn't it Alexis who also made the dice? So hang on a minute, Alexis. I see you. You have more control over this game than I realised, and you are on the part of the enemy. Even though you're one of my brilliant mods, you are chat right now. So, and it's me against all of you, every single one of you. Thank you, Alison. So that's a big fat 0. Alexis is absolutely taking me down here with these crazy dice and the bust emoji. Okay, here we go. Do you see what I see? Yeah, you do, don't you? Good for you. So 750, right? So you are now on 150, and I am on 0. Thank you, Fletcher. Thank you, Riveting Rogue. All right, my turn. Here we go. It's not great. Do you know what? You've got to go for it. I'm going to take my 3s and I'm going to keep going. I don't care who knows it. The shame. The shame. I have to hide under here. It's so shameful. The shame. Chat is on 1150. Tom is on 0. Here you go, guys. This is for you. I know. I thought you'd bust for a minute. Okay. What's it going to be, guys? Thank you, Little Farmer Gosling. 5 and roll. Yeah, you've got to. What would you like to do, gang? Thank you very much indeed, Mimecore. Very much appreciated. 1 and roll. Yeah. It's really weird because when it's your turn, because I like Farkle so much and I want it to be a good roll, and because I like all of you very much, I want it to be good, and then I remember that you're the enemy. So I'm slightly... I mean, it's not going to change the world, but it is pretty good. What would you like to do, though? I'm not going to make any suggestions. Thank you, Tides of Chaos. And thank you, Adalia Soma. Yeah, roll again. I thought you would. Okay, so you got 150 from there, 200 and another 200. So that's 400 in your pocket, which you take forward. Thank you, Fanzadia. Here you go. Thank you again, Oxanan. Super kind and very much appreciated. What's it going to be, chat? 5 and roll. Good shout. Okay, here we go. Okay. What would you like to do? Yeah, 3s and 5s and pass. It's got to be. So you got 50 from there. You've got 300, 350 to go with your 400. So that's 750. 750. So you've got 1,900. I think I'm right in saying. Just stay on my back here, chat, because the stakes are high. Make sure I'm getting this right. Do we all agree that you're on 1,900? Is that right? That is right, I think. Why is chat frozen? Yeah, all right. I'm really enjoying how you're like, oh, God knows, we don't know. I'm not even paying attention. I could do anything. So I've got 7,000, which means I've already won, and you've got 2. I'm the winner! Except we all know I'm not. And also, sadly, we have the playback on Twitch to wrap me out on this. Okay, I take the 2s and I continue. 2s are so annoying because getting 3 of anything is quite unusual, but when it's 3 2s, it just feels like a waste of everyone's time. fine. No, it's absolutely fine. I don't mind at all that for the biggest game of Farkle that I've ever played, I've had 3 rolls and I have got no points. This is what is known in the business as a disaster, and you'll see the zeros are getting slowly bigger as my frustration mounts. Thank you, little farmer gosling. Okay, this is for you, gang. Thank you so much, Polar Pandy. Super appreciated. I sense that those subs are going towards this roll. So I thank you and I appreciate you, but I hope it doesn't give you what you want on the dice board. Okay, what's it going to be? Yeah, they are pity subs, aren't they, Monko? Okay, 1 and roll. 1 and roll. Thank you very much indeed, Peasant from Peasant Stan. Much appreciated. Thank you. What does that do for your roll? Let's see. Okay, bold. 1 and roll. I think that's fair. Just about worth it. Five and pass. Okay, so 350. You are now on 2,250. So you are nearly halfway, my friends, and I am very much not halfway because I am on 0. Let's see if we can change that. Oh, wait. I'm a dice down. Not that it did. Oh, no, it did. It's another 4. It's another 4, and I wouldn't say thrilled about that. I'm glad to be off the mark. I'll take 450. I'll take that 450 and I'll just put that in my pocket. I think at this point, it's just nice to be off the board. I'm rather off the mark. All right, gang, this is... Well done. Well done. What would you like to do with them, though? Because this could be interesting. Do you want to just put them in your pocket? Or do you want to keep going? So you got your 6s. Tell me, roll or pass. Just put the word roll or pass. And then I will know. Pass seems to have it at the moment. Pass. All right. Okay, so you got 600 in your pocket. You're now on 2,850. It's going pretty well for you, my friends, I will say. But it's a long game and anything can happen in Farkle, especially when you're playing against me, who can be extraordinarily lucky just when you least expect it. All right, 400. So that puts me on 850. It's fine. It's not what I was dreaming for, but I'll take it. All right, gang, here you go. This is for you. You are over the halfway mark to winning literally everything. No, sure. No. Great. Really happy for you. 750 and pass, is that what we're saying? Well done. Thanks, Hanula999. I am crushing out. Well, I'm crushing out, but you're playing pretty well. You're playing well as a team. You're not agreeing on everything, but you're actually playing really fucking well. So well done. To 900, 3,600. You are approaching that victory lap. Ketchup Zombie says Tom is busted forever. I think it is. It's that bloody emoji. All right. Really thought one of those 3s was a 4. But it's not. That's really annoying. That would have put me back in it. Okay, so I dropped it, but that was the 1 that I'm going to keep. Here we go. All right, I'll take the 5. Here we go. I'll take another 5. I've just got to keep going at this point. Do you know what? I'm just going to keep going. So I've got 300, 350, and I'm still going. Can you imagine? I mean, I have had comebacks in the past. Thank you, Sleepless Wolf Lady. Thank you, Lady Capon. I've got 350 in my pocket, and I'm starting all over again. I'm just going to have to keep going, aren't I? Just got to push on at this point. Oh. Oh man, thank you, Nutbat. This is a disaster. This is a disaster. So I'm still on 850. I just lost my meager 350 that I had. I haven't even got over 1,000, and you lot are on 3,600. Okay, that's not great. Yeah, 5 in a row. The stakes could not be higher at this point, my God. Thank you, Little Farmer Gosling. Oh my God, thank you, for Fiction. Whoa, where did that come from? That is insane. And I mean, I hope that the good energy of those subs is going to come my way and not chat's way, but they show up green on my screen. I don't know how they show up for you. That is incredibly generous. Thank you very, very, very much indeed for that. That has blown my little mind. Wow, big shout out to Full Fiction. That is super kind. Thank you very much. Okay. Well, that's made me feel a bit better about life, but like, here we go. Yeah, using gifted subs to throw Tom off his game, that is absolutely working. You could say any math to me now, and that has blown my mind enough that I'd be like, sure, you got 3,000. You've got 50 in your pocket, and you've got what you want there, which is 1 and roll, seems to be the consensus. Okay. All right. Ooh. Sorry about that, chat. That's bust. But you know what? It doesn't matter because you're so far ahead anyway. Let's see if I can turn this around. Okay. With the energy that Fall for Fiction has given me and the good vibes that I feel from all the blue that's going on in this image, on my t-shirt, on my dice, on my painting, let's see what we can do with this. What kind of magic have you put in that emoji, Alexis? Because you made the dice and you made this, and they're both blue, and there's some sort of alchemy going on here between this new emoji. I have never, ever, ever gone bust this much. Ever. I don't think I've gone bust more than like a couple of times in a stream. And I think it's happened to me like, how many times? Like, we keep a death count on my normal streams. We should be keeping like a bust count because I think that's like my 4th or 5th time. There's some magic in these dice and but mostly that emoji. Yeah, someone says they feel bad. Thank you, Books and Knives. You should feel bad. I know, Bernard in the Hat says it's because I said let's play for everything and I've cursed myself. All right, gang, here you go. This is for you. What is it? Oh, man! What are you going to do with those? What are you going to do with those? Take your 700 and run, no doubt. Okay, chat. It is time for the comeback because I've not even got 1,000. I've got 850. You've got 4,300. It is time for the comeback. You can do the emoji all you want, Alexis, and chat. You can send the curse to me all you want. All you want. But it will not work, and I'm going to do it out of shot, but I am not going to cheat. But I'm going to let you see. I did drop one, but I've got my hands in the air so you can see I can't cheat. I mean, I don't know what face to pull. It's not a disaster, but it's completely forgettable. It's not bust. But it's just like, nah. If that role was a face, it would just be, who cares? Who cares about that role? All right, I'm keeping 1-5. I'm keeping 1-1. Come on, Tom. Come on, Henry. I wish you could hug me, poor man. Says Hammer Pie. I know, this is an absolute fucking disaster. Oh, man. And it actually gets worse. You have cursed me, Alexis and chat, with your emoji magic. Your magic. You've absolutely cursed me. I've never, ever, ever had as bad a round as Farkle as this, and I'm playing for everything. Thank you, Sharks Pren. I'm literally playing for everything that I have. All the people, all the animals, all the money, all the fountains, all the swords, all the pride and honour, all the dadzigs. It's all... Oh, man, what? Okay, so just to let you know, you're on 4,300. I'm not moving my hand, you can see, but you can't see what you've got. You need 700. You need 700. What kind of face is this? You did it. Somebody says gambling is bad, kids, and let me tell you, this is... This is a Farkle low point, but a streaming high point. Because, gambling is bad. And this is what happens. If you get too cocky and you do what I did today, this is what happens. You lose everything. You lose hands. You lose pebbles. You lose mutt. You lose... You lose your father's sword that you spent 2 games fighting to get, hours and hours and hours of everyone's life, and you lost it in 1 game of Farkle. You lose. What else do you lose? I'm not stopping there. You lose the fountain. You lose the clock. You lose 21 groschen. But you lose something else. So chat, you lose hands, pebbles, mutt, dadzig, your sword, the Kuttenberg fountain, the astronomical clock, 21 groschen, and your self-worth. but you gain fun times. I shouldn't be laughing this hard for a man that has just lost everything. But let me tell you, there is no one I would rather lose all of it to than chat. So I am 1 part livid, 99% thrilled at what just happened. Not thrilled for me, but thrilled for you. There's no one I would rather share any of these things with than all of you, because quite frankly, most people wouldn't know how much we should care about all of the things that I've just lost, but you all know what those things mean. If I just stop someone random in the street, they'd probably be like, what are you talking about? Anyway, I want to say thank you to Simon and Tom McKay Archive and Fletcher the Warlock and Christina and Spike Lee and Shinny for all jumping in just now. That was a lot. That was a lot of fun. Thank you very much, Little Farmer Gosling. Thank you so much, and to Hank Pay as well. Thank you very much. That's super kind. These are definitely pity subs, but I will take the pity subs. I deserve the pity at this point. And but I walked into it. It was my idea to roll for everything, and that is what you got. I got cursed by Fall for Fiction. Oh my God, it's got cursed by Fall for Fiction again. That is incredibly generous. Thank you so much. If they're pity subs, I'll take them. That is super, super kind. Wow, that has sort of blown my mind. This is insane. And thank you all so much. Thank you, Death Professor. Thank you, Black Wolf Cosplay. Thank you very much indeed, Lady Friendzone. That is super kind. Full Fiction, that is insane. You have blown my mind today. But you all have, and it's It's genuinely been a lot of fun. I have lost everything, but I've gained time with you and silliness and fun. So thank you all so much. Thank you all for being incredibly generous today. I mean that. But thank you also just for turning up. It's been such a good time. I should never have gambled so hard. But I hope that we learned something today. We learned that gambling is bad. We learned that the laws of probability can be defied because we had 6 sixes. Well, I say we. You had 6 sixes and a full straight. You had. And we had a lot of fun. So thank you all for being here. Thank you, Kim Puri. I will be back, as I said, I don't know if you were here at the beginning. I will be back with some KCD2 playthrough. I'll probably do some real world Farkle again at some point, but we're going to park that just for a minute now. We're going to get back into the playthrough. There will, of course, be Farkle in the game, where I will not be doing the maths. You'll all be thrilled to know. But for now, I just want to remind you, which bit of paper is it? I want to remind you of all the things that you won today. And I want to wish you all the very, very best. Have an amazing end of your week, an amazing weekend. I'm sending all the good vibes your way, genuinely. That was a lot of fun. You were all a lot of fun. Thank you for being so game and so brilliant. I think you're all excellent people. And I am for now saying over and out and wishing you all the very, very, very best.